There is something that so many of us are doing to our art that we don't realize, and I'm here today to advocate for your art and also for you. I am going to share with you the one thing that so many of us are missing out on when we are doing our watercolor paintings. Now, if you are new to my channel, my name is Jillian and I'm a watercolor artist based in Singapore. In my channel, you will discover not just tutorials about watercolor, but I also want to share some insights and help to give you the opportunity to reflect on your own watercolor practice so that it creates more openness and curiosity as you move on in your journey. Now today, I'm going to be talking to you about the missing link and the reason why most of us are feeling very stagnant in our art. And also, this is also the main reason why your artwork is not progressing at all. In this video, you will be watching me do a very short painting where I will be playing with water and paints, and as you are going through this video, I want you to use this as an opportunity to reflect on your own practice so that you can better understand what are some of the key ideas that you can put into your art and help to elevate your painting. Like with every video, I invite you to like, subscribe and comment, and also share with me how exactly this video relates to your own practice and experience. Now, as I'm sharing this is really my opinion and my thoughts, and you could also have a different one from me, and that's okay. I would love to hear what you have to say and share, because this is how I grow too as an artist. So without further ado, let's dive in. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as I paint while sharing with you that one secret that could help you to improve and get out of that hamster wheel of stagnance when you're doing your watercolor practice. Now, I have been in the position where my watercolor practice has been stagnant, and I always felt that there was always this space where I was not progressing or getting to where I wanted to be. And this is where I took a break from the medium. I gave myself that chance and opportunity to just pause and reflect on what exactly I wanted from watercolor. And this was where a light bulb moment really hit for me. I realized that I was asking too much of the medium. I realized that I had not built a relationship with watercolor, and this is the one problem or that missing link that so many of us have, that we don't actually have a relationship with the medium. And what I mean by relationship is your being able to understand what watercolor can do for you, the different ways in which it moves, its strengths, its limitations, and all of these properties of watercolor. Sometimes we don't get that opportunity to explore it when we jump headfirst into wanting to paint something meaningful. Now, the thing about building a relationship, just like how you build a relationship with someone, it takes time to cultivate. And giving yourself time to get to know watercolor and the medium is really about asking yourself to explore and just play with the medium, to figure out how it moves in water, to see and observe what are the different ways in which your brush can move or the shapes that it can make. And all of these simple exercises can really change the way you start to see things about watercolor. Now, the mistake that so many of us make is that we start to want to paint something meaningful, and this was the exact position that I was in when I first started watercolor. I started to want to paint flowers. I looked for videos painting roses. I started to look for tutorials of how to paint something, because as an adult, we get into this cycle where we always want to produce or be productive and to create something with purpose and meaning. And this is where I realized that when I did that, I ended up forcing myself to do something that I wasn't really ready for. And the medium was also not ready for me to do it because I wasn't in a space where I really knew how it worked. I didn't know all the possibilities that it could do. I wasn't sure about the way in which it moved in water or how to mix colors. There were so many question marks. And I wanted to bring this up because whenever we feel like our practice is stagnant or when it's not moving to a place that we want to go, we need to then reflect on some of the gaps or stages that we might have skipped in our practice that could result in this frustration. Just like every relationship that we get into, it's so crucial to get to know the medium, to get to know the person. And by getting to know the person and the medium, this also means learning to accept all of those limitations and accept the struggles that come with it, just like in any relationship that you value. Now, learning to accept all of those struggles can be very difficult, and this is where sometimes we might have to learn to lean into practicing and trying out techniques that we're not comfortable with. It could be using water, or it could be layering, or even learning how to mix colors. These are such essential skills that can really help us to understand how to become more intentional when we are painting. This is so that when we are actually painting a subject, you get to learn to enjoy and trust that process. Now, whenever you hear artists say trust the process, it's so hard to trust the process when there isn't even any trust between you and the medium. So to start off, we really need to have and forge that strong bond and relationship with watercolor through getting to know the ins and outs of it. As a self-taught watercolor artist, this was the mistake that I made where I jumped into painting something that I didn't even realize was not pegged at the level that was suited for me. It created so many gaps, so much frustration and impatience. So give yourself the permission to just play around with watercolor regardless of what stage you're in, because this is how you're going to build and forge that relationship that is meant to last. Now, I'd love to hear what you think about today's video. Let me know in the comments below about what your relationship with watercolor is like, and I'd love to find out what are some of the things you do to help you to build that relationship. I'll see you in the next video.